Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Hazel. If not, then you know what it is. Today, I'm sure you can tell by the title, we are looking at tips on how to be productive. And you know, it's not the same for everyone. I'm sure there are a lot of other things out there that I haven't included, but this is just what worked for me. Also bear in mind that you don't have to do everything in this video. Literally 3 or 4 things on a daily basis will actually help you a lot. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing is to set goals. And you're gonna set them out in different intervals. So I do 3 main intervals, but you can do this however you want. So the first thing is you're gonna set yearly goals, things you want to be able to have done by the end of the year. You can set monthly goals, things that you want to be able to have done by the end of the week, by the end of the month. And then you can do weekly goals as well. Now, I don't go all the way to doing daily goals, but you can do that if that's what makes you feel comfortable. And you know, this is basically part of a process called chunking. You know, sometimes we have aspirations that seem extremely big when we look at them from a whole perspective, but when you chunk them down into little bits, then the work seems a lot easier and a lot more practical to do. So that raises your willpower and it makes you feel a lot more productive. The second thing to do is to clean out your workspace. And I know this isn't directly connected, but cleaning out your environment helps you feel fresh. And within that freshness, well, for me at least, within that freshness, it gives me the energy to want to do something productive, you know? Because cleaning your space physically also makes me feel good mentally. And if I feel good mentally, it puts me more in a position and in a mood to want to do something productive. Practice mindfulness, and you can do this in so many ways. The biggest ways for me are praying and gratitude. So, you know, just write down 3 things that you're grateful for. You don't have to do this every day, just whenever you feel like. And I promise you that talking about, thinking about, writing about things that make you grateful, it does just that. It makes you grateful and it just puts you in a better mood and, you know, more likely to be productive throughout the day. One other thing, and this feels like a no-brainer, but write things down. Like, I swear this is a really simple tip, but write it down. Just do it. Sis, do it. Write it down. I am all about lists, I'm all about goals, I'm all about being productive throughout my day, especially now that I'm done with high school and I virtually have nothing to do. I had to sort of set my own timetable or goals of things to do throughout the day, and I found that, you know, at first I wasn't really getting everything done, or I'd have little things to do throughout the day and they just weren't getting done because I forgot to do them. So if you write them down and just, you know, maybe you'll be sitting down bored on your phone and you'll go through your to-do list and it kind of just pops up like, oh yeah, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to do that. So it helps. Trust me, writing a to-do list, it definitely helps. Next thing we're gonna talk about is self-care. So we all know that self-care is just taking care of our body, our minds in various ways. And although it's not directly connected to being productive, self-care puts you in a better mood. You know, when you're feeling good, you're looking good, self-care puts you in a good mood. It raises your confidence and therefore it puts you in a more likely state to actually be productive. And I'm speaking from experience. You know, when I'm looking like a rag, just looking bad, you know, I don't want to do nothing. I just want to laze around all day, you know, binge watch Vampire Diaries, do whatever. But, you know, when I get up, I get dressed, I do my thing, you know what I'm saying? I do my thing, then, you know, I kind of sit there after having accomplished that, after having accomplished feeling good and looking good, I kind of just sit there and it's like, okay, what do I want to do next? I want to do something productive. So, self-care, it's important. Do it. The next thing we're going to talk about is the PICNUF method. This is basically an idea where you compare things that you do based on how they feel within your life. So this is divided into two sections. The PIC section, which is what we want, and the NUF section, which is what we don't want. So the PIC stands for positive, immediate, and certain. If I do this thing, how will it affect me? Will it affect me positively? Yes. If I do this certain thing, will I get immediate results? Will I see any change? Yes. If I do this thing, am I certain to get some sort of outcome? Yes. PIC. And then we're gonna go to NUF. If I do this thing, what kind of result is it gonna have on me? Is it gonna be positive or negative? Negative. If I do this thing, are the results certain or uncertain? Uncertain. And you know, the results, are they gonna be immediate or far from now? Far. So make sure that whatever you're doing within your day follows the PIC half of the term, because then it feels, when things are giving you a positive outcome, an immediate outcome, and a certain outcome, again, it makes you feel good. Most of these things are about making you feel good. All you have to do is raise your willpower and you're in a more likely mood to do productive things, which is why everything that I'm explaining just mostly puts you in a better mood to be able to do things. Next, we're going to talk about self-love and romanticizing your life. So it's basically the same as self-care, or I'd say self-care is within self-love. You're basically taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, in any way that you can imagine, and you're making yourself feel whole in such a way your life feels fulfilled. And like I said, confidence high, moods high, you're gonna want to be more productive. So, you know, self-love includes positive affirmations, it includes self-care. You can write yourself a letter. You can do so many things within self-love, and if you want a full video on that, then let me know. But it works, trust me, it works. The next thing we're going to talk about is your internal locus of control. So there was a study conducted. I don't know when and I don't know where, but there was a study conducted, and a teacher divided a class into half, right? Now, they were all given the same test, and you know, they all wrote their answers, and then the results came out. Now, for the students that did well, half of them were told it's because they're smart, right? Half of them were told it's because they're smart, and the other half were told it's because they worked hard. Now, maybe that doesn't seem important right now, but you're gonna see my point. Afterwards, the same students were given another test. Now, this test was ranging from easy questions to hard questions. And what was found, that the students that were told they were smart were mostly failing. They just do the easy questions and then they give up when they realize they didn't know the answer. But for the students that were told it's because they worked hard, studies found that they did better on the test. They also spent more time on the hard questions trying to figure it out, putting in the effort to get it right. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that when you tell yourself that your success is because of what you do and not because of circumstances outside your control, you're more likely to succeed, basically. You're more likely to succeed. So do things that make you feel like you're putting in the work, you're putting in the effort, because at the end, when you reap the rewards, it makes you feel good. Okay? and it increases your productivity. Next thing we're going to talk about is shadow work. This is basically just, and I know most of you ain't gonna want to do this, and you know what, you don't have to. This is all up to you, but this is what worked for me. Shadow work. You basically do a deep dive into your inner child. You look at your past traumas, your past negative situations, things that subconsciously manifested into your present life, and you sort of unfold it. You go through it, you break it down. You know, maybe you have commitment issues, maybe, you know, whatever. You go through that, you break it down, and you figure it out. And you'll find that when you work on the negative aspects within your life, things feel lighter, things feel more positive. All of a sudden you're waking up and you're just in a good mood and you don't know why, you know. And when you are in a good mood like that, as I said, you are just more than likely to be productive and do things that benefit your life in the short term as well as long term. Next thing we're going to talk about is making an odyssey plan and a life plan. Like, whoa, what the heck is that? So an odyssey plan is a plan that you write down, and what you're going to do, you're going to write 3 alternate versions of your life, and you're just going to examine them, and they're going to help you to navigate your lifestyle better. So the first version is the path that you're currently on, the things that you're currently doing, basically how your life's gonna turn out with no external factors, right? This is the practical version. Then the second alternate plan is basically where you change something, you take an alternate course, but still practical, just a little different, and you write down how you see that life folding out. And then the third life plan is a plan where there are no boundaries whatsoever. You can do whatever you want. Your life turns out however you want, without the object of money, without the object of, I don't know, whatever, really, like whatever. It just, you know, your wildest dreams come true. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna identify the things that pop up in all 3 of your alternate lives, because those are the things that you need to focus on in your everyday life, you know. And this could be random things. This could be like working out. Maybe you plan to work out in all 3 of your alternate plans, or maybe you plan to be a YouTuber. Let's say you want to be a doctor like me. You want to be a doctor in your original plan, but you still plan to make content on YouTube like this. You know, maybe in your other life you want to be a lawyer, but you still plan to make YouTube content like this. Or maybe in your most radical dreams you plan to be an astronaut, but you still want to make YouTube content. That kind of thing is you're gonna want to still pursue that kind of thing in your everyday life, because it just helps you to feel like you're getting things done. You don't want to look back in life and think, oh, I wish I had done that. You know what I'm saying? Now is the time. Do not wait for January 1st, 2020 something, because sis, bro, let me tell you, it ain't work. We all know that we have New Year's resolutions and stuff like that, but let's be honest, after the first 3 months, for some of you after the first 3 weeks, for some of you even after the first 3 days, we give up. So now is the time. Just do it, okay? Just do it. You basically look at your odyssey plan, and it's gonna help you really identify what it is you want to do, what makes you happy, what you've got to be consistent in, and yeah, you're gonna thank yourself later. Then we're gonna talk about the art of ikigai. Whoa, what is that? So that is a Japanese term. This comprises of 4 ideas that merge into one thing. We've got mission, vocation, passion, and profession. We're gonna talk about mission, okay? So whatever you decide to indulge in, it's got to be something that you know the world needs, because then it makes you feel like you're fulfilling some sort of purpose in life, you know, what the world needs. But at the same time, it's also got to be something that you love, you know, because how are you gonna be happy if you don't love what you do? So that's your mission, okay? Now, let's talk about this. The next thing is vocation, okay? So we've talked about something that the world needs, but at the same time, it needs to be something that can make you money, because who wants to be fulfilled and happy without money? I know they say money won't buy you happiness, but you still need to survive. So vocation, something the world needs, something that can get you money, something that can get you paid, okay? The third thing we're gonna talk about is a profession. Now this is something that you can be paid for, but it's also something that you are good at. You know what I'm saying? Something that you can continue to improve on after time. Because you know, if you won't be paid for it, then you definitely need to be good at it. Nobody's gonna pay for scraps, okay? And then the last thing we're gonna talk about is passion. So this is something that you are good at and something that you love. When you find something that you love doing, something that you recognize that the world needs, something that you can be paid for, and something that you are good at, something that has all four: mission, vocation, profession, and passion, you are in a state of ikigai. And that will give you so much confidence and satisfaction and just high spirits. You cannot even imagine how productive you will want to be after you master that. Now, you know, most of these things take a long time to figure out. You know, this isn't something that I just managed to figure out after a day. I'm still trying to figure it out. I found 3 things out of the 4. Now I just need to find a way to merge it into one, you know? And then the last thing we're gonna talk about today is just relaxing and resting. Because sometimes you will have such a productive week that, you know, at the end you're gonna feel burnout. And when you feel burnout, you know, let's say you've been productive all week, Sunday it's finally your rest day, you're burnt out from all the work. And, you know, by the time you're getting to Monday, you don't even want to do no more work. You just want to rest and rest and rest because you're tired out. You know, so if I were you, I'd take frequent rests and just relaxing moments to make sure that you don't burn out, because once you do burn out, it's going to take a lot to get back up to a state of productivity. So make sure that while you're figuring out your life and taking care of yourself, you're also resting, because it's just as important. Okay guys, that is everything I had for you today. I hope you liked it. Let me know if this was helpful. And yeah, I guess I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.